Hello guys, welcome to Data Speak, listening to your data. So in today's video, I'll be showing you guys on how I was able to transform this ordinary line chart to this. So being a data analyst or BI analyst, as long as you work with a data set that has a date column in it, line chart is one of those charts you cannot do away with, because line chart help us to tell us the trend, show us the trend where the business is heading to. And when we want to do a forecast, the line chart also help us to achieve that. So in order for us to achieve what I'm about to show you guys, we have the following measure we're going to consider. And as long as if you want to perform a time intelligence analysis in Power BI, it is advisable for you to create a separate date column, a separate date table, like what I have here. This is a separate date table I have here. You can see it. This is a date table and it's been linked to the date table. The relationship is being created. So these are the measures we're going to be using in order to achieve what you guys are seeing here. So the first of it is month over month percentage. The second is the previous month sales. So the month over month percentage, this is the DAX. This is the DAX query. The previous month sales, this is the DAX query we're using calculating it. Then the sales difference is the current month minus the previous month. And we have the cell format, which tells us if the sales difference is less than 0, give it red. If it is greater than 0, give it green, like what you see here. Then the last not the least, we have the total sale, which is one of our key measures we're going to use in this chart. So let's go to a new page and bring our line chart. So this is our line chart, and we are looking our line chart at the total sales against month name. So I'm just going to do a little format about the line chart. So what I'll simply do on the x-axis, I don't need a title. On the y-axis, I don't need both the title and the value. So the next thing I will go down is I like my line chart to be a smooth type. So I'll move down to the interpolation type. I'll change it to smooth. Then for the line, the color, I'm going to give it a darker gray color here. So the next is to on the data label. So now we have our data label on. So we'll go inside our data label. We're going to do some little format. So under the series, we have it all. So under the data label, we go to the title. We on the title. So now when we on the title, we see that we have total sales, but we're going to format it. We're going to use a custom. So already we have a measure for it already, which is the month over month percentage. I'm going to bring it. Now you see that we have a month over month percentage. Now the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to format it. I'm going to change it to Seagull UI semi bold. I'm going to leave it 9. Then I'll move down. Now the color, now we need to change the color to indicate when it is greater, when the sales different percent or the month over month percentage is greater, it will give us green. When it's lesser, it is going to give us what? A red color. So I'm going to format it here. We already have our DAX function. Under here, we use our feed value. We go under our measure. We have our cell format. Now you see now it has indicated when the sales difference is positive, it will give us a green sign, and when it's less as compared to the previous month, it will give us red. So That one is done for that. So the next thing we're going to do, we'll go to the details. Under the details, I'm going to bring the sales difference. Now the sales difference. Now right now we have the month over month percentage, we have the current sales, and we have the sales difference. Now if you notice, all of them they're on the same line, but I want to give the I want uh to make all of them to be what on a separate line. So how do we do that? So we move down, we will go to the layout. Under the layer section, you see the single line. We're going to turn it to what? To multiple line, multi-line. Now we have our values on each of them on a separate line. So under the details, I'm gonna also change it to Sigo semi board. Then now we're gonna go back to the data label. Under the data label, on the minimum offset, I'm gonna give it 50. Now if you notice that our data label has moved up, some move down, some move up, so that we're gonna use line to do what? To we're gonna use a line to do what? To hold to direct it to where, to each of the month. So how do we get that done? We move down where we have the leader line. So once we click the leader line, you see we have the line indicating which of the month. So under the line, I need the dash, not a solid line. So yeah, so I'm just gonna format the data type. So I want to give it to 2 decimal places. So for the details, I'm gonna give it to 2 decimal places. Then I'll move to a total cell. So make sure all of them are in 2 decimal place. So it's one to series. Let me see. We'll go back to a custom. Then we'll go for a value. Make it 2 decimal places also. Now here we have our line chart being transformed. That tells us the month of a month percentage. It tells us the actual amount of the current month, and it shows us what's the difference in between the previous month and the current month. So for our current month, we're going to increase the font size. Our current value, we're going to increase the font size. I'm going to give it single bold, then make it 10. Now we have our line chart. So I'm going to format the title. So let me go to the title. So the title, I'm going to give it sales by month name. Then I'm going to align it middle. I'll change the font type to Sigo UI bold. And I'll go to the property. I'm just going to do some little padding. I'm going to give it 10. We're almost there. So the next thing I will do now, my canvas background, I'm just going to give it a light gray color. So the chart, I'm going to remove the effect. I'm going to remove the background because I want to put bring in the shape. So I'll go to insert shape. I'm going to bring a rectangle shape. So I'm going to format the shape. I'm going to make it 10. And I'll go to style. Under the fill color, I'm going to give it white. For the border, I'm going to give it white also. And the shadow, I'm going to change it and give it light gray. Make it 46. Okay. So the next thing I'll do, I'm going to format it. I'm going to send it to background, the shape. So here's our shape. So I'm going to expand my line chart. I'm going to bring it down a bit. So what I'll do, I'll just bring a slicer. I want to slice it by month, by product. So I'll bring in the product. So for the slicer, I want it to be in, I want the style to be tie. So just drag it up, then do some a little bit formatting. I'll just bring it here. Then go to effect, shape. The background, I'm going to remove the background. I'm going to give it a little visual border white so that I can able to give it the run, make the corner 8. Then I'll go to the shadow. I'll give it a little shadow. For the shadow, I'm going to bring it to lighter gray. So now we have our slicer. So let's try to slice it with Amarilla. You find that you see our chart is fluctuating, which is for this. Then I would like to know also the total sale of each of the products. So I'm going to bring a card. So which simply means what I've done here. So what I've done, I'm just going to copy it, copy the card. Let me remove this one, then Ctrl V. So here's the card. So now we have our line chart. So for example, if I want to Velo, so you see what I've floated, I will see the total sale for Velo is 18.25 million. For Pasio, you see it. So you can see there's a big difference between this line chart and this one. There's a big difference. So more even somebody who is not an expert, who doesn't have a skill in that, will be easy to relate with this one as compared to the ordinary line chart. Because why? This one has more context about the line chart. So this is how I was able to transform this ordinary line chart to this. So shout out to Rash, the BI guy. So I was able to learn some of these things from his YouTube channel. So I'm here to just to replicate it. So if today happens to be your first time in this channel, I would like you to subscribe and like. So if you have any suggestion or comment, please, or any chart or anything you want to discuss related to Power BI, please leave it on the comment section. Thank you. See you. Bye.